Hello my friends, I am in beautiful Chicagoland area at Fuji America, where we have 140,000 square feet to talk about. Frank's waiting for me inside. In fact, he gave me his badge, which is kind of cool. We have $12 million in inventory, and did you know Fuji has been around for over 60 years and 30 years in this building? Now, this building to me is stunning, so how could it be 30, 40 years already that this building's been around? But I want you guys to come inside, meet Frank, so we can talk a little bit more about this incredible technology that's been focused mostly on automotive, but where it can help you and how we can continue to thrive in manufacturing through our job shops at high mix and low volume as well. Frank, it is so good to see you,
Hey,
my
Tony,
friend.
great to see you. Welcome to Fuji Machine America.
Fuji Machine America, 140,000 square feet. I mean, that's absolutely fascinating, the size and the fact that you've been here for 30 years and the building still shines like glistening, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
This is a really wonderful place. Let's talk a little bit about Fuji America and some of the history, and offer these amazing people watching right now a tour, an exclusive tour that they may not have seen before.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for being here today. Like you said, 30 years in this facility. We keep it up. We just remodeled recently. 60 years in business, Fuji Machine as a company. We specialize. Fuji is a complete automated turning and turn mill solution provider, right? All of our machines come with built-in robots from Japan and built-in automation from one source, so that differentiates us in the market, right? Mm-hmm. All the automation is complete from us, and we provide all the solutions. We have all the technology and the know-how. So let's take a walk around and show you some more.
Yeah, we're gonna get our steps in today, aren't we? For sure. It'll be
Absolutely.
140,000 square feet. This is a huge facility, but as we walk, can we start with kind of the beginning, the history, the story, Japanese culture, Japanese innovation, 60 years. You know you're doing something right when you've improved and improved and improved, 60 years in the making.
Yeah.
So have you been to the factory in Japan?
Oh, absolutely. The factory's outstanding. Our slogan, one of our slogans is innovative solutions, right? So 60 years ago, we started making our first turning machine. And year after year, we've made innovations, with innovative solutions in mind. And the thought process behind that is to improve the lives of people daily, right? That's really what we like to do. So this technology is improving people's lives over and over again as we innovate.
Well, I can tell you right now, you're improving my life, allowing me to be here and share this story. So thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I know the machine tools are going to be down this hall, but what is happening over here? This looks kind of neat as well.
Yeah, so this is one of our innovations. After we invented turning machines, we started with surface mount technology machines. So these machines take chips, they're automated, and they apply chips to circuit boards, all with custom quick CNC machines. And we're one of the top 3 in the world with this technology.
I mean, so for what that does for me instantly, Frank, it goes, okay, top 3 in the world, and this just creates that more depth of foundation that when I know I'm working with Fuji, I'm working with a corporation that's built to create success for people, whether it be in machine tools or in other avenues, but everything supports everything within Fuji, which I think is a wonderful idea and concept. So let's jump back into machine tools, right?
Yep, absolutely.
You guys have built-in gantry loaders. It comes from the factory floor. You've been here 30 years. We talk automation all the time. We're still talking to the audience about how important it is.
Right.
And people think about pallet change, bar feed, cobots,
Correct.
robots, but there are so many advantages to the gantry loader. And then on top of that, coming from your factory, not having a secondary company come in to make that additional piece work, right? So let's talk about that type of success.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, all of our machines come with Fuji robots, right? It can be a gantry loader, it can be a dual gantry loader, it can be a rail guided robot, it can be a standalone robot. So we have many different robots and different configurations that we offer. And then as we talked about, all from a single source, right? They're all made by Fuji, and we have all the technology and the know-how to support them and to make them work properly.
So gantry loading, obviously important, but what else I think is significant, as I've had the great privilege to walk through this place with you before hitting record, it gives me a couple of extra notes, right? Is that you guys do turnkey operations. Now, back in the day, back in my machining days, we would buy a machine, they'd drop it on our floor, and we had to try and figure it out.
Right.
But companies like you at Fuji say, you know what, we'll help you figure it out, right?
That's correct.
And so let's talk about the importance of turnkey centers.
Yeah, that's very important. Not only do we offer turnkeys, but we guarantee our turnkey. One of our core competencies is the automotive market, right? We've got some of our end users like Toyota, or General Motors or Ford or Stellantis, etc. Many more. You know, we have thousands and thousands of machines that are
all the big names, it seems like.
yeah. Those are end users, you know, through different suppliers, but those are the ultimate end users. And, you know, they're making thousands and thousands and thousands of parts 24/7, 365 days a year on Fuji machines, right? So we must be doing something right if all those major companies look to Fuji for their main production.
100% agree. And to go with that, I have to ask, because we all know we can sell one machine and you won't sell a second one without service and support. How do you support all of those machines at such big name companies?
Absolutely. Well, we've got a great dealer network, you know, more than 25 partners, and we've got a great staff and facility here. Some of those engineers are from Japan directly, others are local engineers that we've had for a number of years. So everyone has a specialty, everybody is kind of focused and dedicated to customer service. That's our number one focus, right? We offer a complete turnkey solution. First of all, it's a solution, and then it's supporting that solution with service, with spare parts, with the installation for the life cycle of that machine, right? We like to tell our customers we're your partner. We don't just want to sell you one machine. We want to partner with you for the life cycle of that machine and make sure that you're successful.
Well, you know, this is only that second interview I've ever done in my life. However, we're doing this really well in the sense of you have $12 million in inventory as well. How about that little segue of service and support? You have, and you're supporting North America and South America and everything in between. This is, you're really paying attention to this side of the world.
Yeah, from this facility we support the USA, right? Canada, Mexico, and South America, right? So it's as you mentioned, this side of the world. So, you know, we've got $12 million in inventory here. We've got another spare parts depot in Mexico. We've got another service team in Mexico as well. And, you know, typically we know that we have the right amount of spare parts to support our market. We typically ship parts within 24 hours, 85 to 90% of the time. And the same thing for our service support. Yeah, you know, we're on-site service for a down machine. If our partner is not available to do it, you know, within the same day or 24 hours, more than 90% of the time. So as I mentioned, service and support, very important to us.
As it should be, and that's an incredible number and a respectful number, a respectable number as well. We're starting to get into the turnkey center here. We're starting to see some of these gantry loaders. We've talked about how everything's made in Japan as well. We talked about 30 years being here. We talked about 60 years total. We talked about the size of the building. Can we talk a little bit about these machines specifically? I see what looks to be a really great interface here as well. I mean, that looks modern.
Yeah, so we'll talk about, you know, as I mentioned before, our core competency is high volume, low mix, right? And that's really what we do super well, high volume production.
Hence the automotive world, right?
Especially the automotive world. But all of the new technology is made and engineered and improved to support not only that, right? To support medium or low volume and high mix, you know, to support different industries and also job shops, right? We've had some success in job shops where the owner may have had, you know, 4 operators running 4 different machines, and we've been able to put one of these new machines in, and now the machine pretty much runs unattended, and the operator's doing other tasks in the company. He didn't lose his job, he's doing other tasks that are important in the company. So, you know, that kind of success is important, right? Also, skilled labor is a challenge right now. You know, we're having difficulty finding skilled labor, and these machines with the automation definitely help. They can run, you know, depending on the part size and what type of automation that we equip it with, but they can run unattended for, you know, 24 hours or 10 hours or whatever you need to, you know, to have them run, to make it work in your production environment.
Frank, you are by far the expert, and I'm just the guy that asks questions to learn. Hopefully the audience can learn with me. But as we get closer to these machines, I want to pick up that piece of the conversation, Frank, and just go, okay, so what we're saying is traditionally, automotive world, lots of volume, I mean, tens of thousands, millions even of parts over and over again. You mentioned 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365. These machines are running, they're being supported. But what I'm looking at here, it seems to me, and again, you're the expert, but I could make this job 1, I could make this job 2, job 3, job 4, and we're only looking at what, 5 parts here. So you are really supporting the high mix, low volume folks as well, which I would make the discussion for everyone watching that in the past, in history, stereotypically we go Fuji, high production, but you guys can have one as well. If you were a job shop, if I'm thinking about starting my own machine shop, I want something like this that allows me that flexibility, not only the flexibility of parts, but having the gantry loader on top saves me floor space. I mean, look at all this blue floor we have in here as well, Frank, because I don't have a giant cell trying to take up all of my room in that automation world. Have I covered this okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, you're the expert. I'm the question guy.
You're spot on. I mean, we can talk on, this is our work stalker. It's available in different configurations, right? Different sizes to support more or less work. And we have the option for a QR code reader. So that QR code reader can be attached to each pallet and it can incorporate a different job, right? And then everything is tied to the control, you know, electronically. So we read the QR code. We know that part size A, for example, is on there. We go to program part A. We machine those parts. The next pallet is read the QR code is part B. Change the program, change everything automatically without any physical changeover, and keep running the part for, you know, up. So we can do that, absolutely. So that's the new technology that we've incorporated into the new design. You know, our old design, legacy machines did have two controllers. We had a FANUC NC controller and we had a Yaskawa Max controller for our robot. All the new technology machines, we've gotten rid of the Yaskawa controller. Everything is in a single controller configuration now. It's FANUC 0ITF Plus control, and overlaid on that control is our FIONS HMI software, right? And that means Fuji Easy Operation New Standard. And that's really the mindset that went into the design of this new control. How can we make it easy for the operator and our end user to program, to change positions of the robot, to change workflows, to troubleshoot?
This brings up another point that you've already brought up, but it's something that we should focus on, which is the skill shortage that we have right now. And a lot of folks are trying our very best to grow within our companies, right? But in order to grow within our companies and instead of having someone with 30 or 40 years come in, which the managers typically do, but come in and just immediately integrate themselves within a company, a lot of people are kind of home growing them, right? And in doing so, we need something like this to be as easy or user friendly as possible. So from my perspective, that's the right thing. That's the right way to go, is to make sure that somebody somewhat new can be as familiar as possible, as quickly as possible, to make this beautiful machine work like it's supposed to. Because I've been out there as well, Frank, and I'll see a machine like this, and I'll see people hand loading and unloading, and I'm like, well, why? Look at what you have, look at the technology you have. They go, I'm afraid to use it, I don't know how to use it. So making it easy and simple is so beneficial as well.
Yeah, absolutely, it's super important, and that was, as I mentioned, our design and intention, right? And we got confirmation of that back first and foremost from our closest partners, right, our dealers. They had some trouble navigating the old system on the legacy machines, and they all easily and quickly and readily adopted the new system because it kind of is very similar to their commodity sales type machines, right? So, and a lot of feedback from our end users, you know, very comfortable and very happy with the new design of the new control. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
Well said, Frank. So let's continue to walk. I have more questions, more thoughts, more ideas. This is not the end of your turnkey center, which is why I've invited you to walk some more, because the machines on your floor are actually for customers, and you're working on parts. You're flexible enough to make sure that your machines can be custom designed for what your clients, partners, friends in the industry need. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. I mean, we can sell you know, a commodity style solution, right? We sell the machine, the customer wants to put their own chucks or their own work holding, their own tooling. We can absolutely do that, right? Or we can sell a custom automated solution, and that's what we really specialize in, right? And we talk about turnkeys. We guarantee our turnkey, right? When we tell you the cycle time of the part is going to be 25 seconds, we guarantee it to be 25 seconds. And if we tell you that we guarantee and agree to this accuracy, absolutely, we do. So we stand behind it.
And as we walk out there, just a quick, super quick pause for the audience also, CMM room. They're making sure that the parts that they're making for you in this 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 15 seconds, they're good to go. They're not just making a guess and saying, well, it's close enough. It's not about close enough, is it, Frank?
No,
we're making sure that things are perfect.
You can go in there and measure. He's measuring a part right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go take a look at that part. That would be awesome. So it is I've heard also, and this is, I say cliche things all the time, Frank, but it's also, I heard a rumor that says you cannot cut something that cannot be measured. The CMM is so important.
Absolutely. So we invested in the CMM several years ago to make sure, you know, a lot of our customers, especially in the automotive world, use CMM and CMM reports. And so here we correlate with them, and we share the information with them digitally, right? We can make parts here, we can send them the information, and then they can come here or not come here to see the accuracy of the part themselves.
Frank, I still remember early in my career when we bought a brand new machine and they gave us 3 days of training at their facility, but at the same time, they plopped the machine on our floor and had us figure everything out. And I'll be darned if it didn't take us 3 to 9 months, I would say, to truly make that thing perform like we wanted it to.
Yeah. So once again, you know, we talk about with all the time with our dealer partners and with our customers, we're your partner, right? So, you know, there's many times where, of course, paperwork, you know, sales contracts, we should have a defined amount of training in there, but there's many times that we provide weeks and weeks of training, right? It's the most important thing is for our customers to be successful. To be successful, they've got to make sure that they adopt not only the machine, the control, but the entire process, right? And so sometimes it takes a little extra time to make sure they understand the whole process, and there's a little bit of time to work together there to make sure we understand their process and their facility as well, right? And then cohesively align those two processes and then just start making production and run thousands and thousands and thousands of parts. So.
Yeah, amazing. Or high mix, low volume.
That's
right.
right.
I mean, let's not leave those guys out, right?
Or high mix, low volume. You know, as we mentioned, you know, we've got customers who are making 25 lots of parts,
right?
For example, or 50 or 100, right? With, you know, and we can set the machine up with different work selects for different parts, as we talked about, the QR code reader. Sometimes we can incorporate step jaws, or if we can't incorporate step jaws for the robot or the main chucks, then we can incorporate quick change chucks or quick change jaws, right? So quick changeover, get the part and, you know, go on to the next batch. So, absolutely.
Yeah, so as we continue this tour, but as we start to close it down, I want to see a couple of real world examples. I know you have a few over there with these machines that are in the turnkey area, but along the way, I also want to talk about some of the other technology. Gantry loading, I find fascinating and important. Automation is extremely important, but let's also talk about Op 10, Op 20, Op 30, Op 40 operations that can be done inside the machine. You can line these machines up. You have the flexibility to go left to right, right to left. You can mirror what's going on. You can make sure that it's a full solution of a part. I mean, the gear world is always an interesting artistic world as well, which takes some complexity to what's being done. I think I saw a gear in your sample area over there. And I know that right here, you have just kind of a discussion of what can be custom made and done for a client. So I think it's very important for people watching this video and understanding Fuji America to truly realize almost anything is possible, right? Like impossible becomes I'm possible.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of true, right? If it's impossible and we can't do it, we're going to tell you we can't do it. But we don't like the word impossible. We like to use the term everything is possible, generally speaking. So, you know, here you see our work stocker, one of our standard work stockers, but this is a complete custom solution for a customer, right? This nest, we call this a nest, right? Here you see the blank work stocker where these pins move in and out to accommodate different variations or sizes of parts, right? But this is a custom solution for a custom part for a customer, right? So this nest, we built it, we designed it, we know their part fits perfectly on it, we know our robot can load it humanly, it's oriented in the same direction every single time to prevent mistakes, and our robot picks it up and places it every time to prevent mistakes, right? And when we talk about automation solutions, a work stocker is only one. We can provide all kinds of different solutions, right? We can not only bring the part in through an automated way, our robot, right? Loaded through one of our work stockers or a custom conveyor of our design, depending on, you know, the type of part, the size of part. We can measure the part in process, feed that back to our control, right? We can wash the part, we can clean the part, we can blow off the part, and then you get a good quality, finished, clean part coming out of the machine. So we have all the technology to do all of those things, and all different types of devices that we can interface. You know, if it's a Renishaw equator gauge, if it's a Marpulse gauge, if it's some other type of gauge, you know, we can add tool life. We have our own tool life monitoring. We partner with other tool life companies, whether it's you know, Karen Engineering or so on and so
company.
forth. Yeah, great company.
Well, great name drop, by the way. I like those guys a lot.
Especially when we're talking about lights out automation, right? You know, that's a key partner for us. So.
Well, I'd like to take a look, Frank, as I think this will probably be the last piece of our tour. As we look around here, you got inventory everywhere. It's very obvious to me in 140,000 square feet. I could almost fly in this place. I was just at an area where these young folks were building airplanes, so I'm in the flying mood, right? But let's kind of focus real quick on this general area, just because what you just described, well, this is real life to that, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at your stacker locations, you're machining a part, whether it's Op 10, 20, whatever it might be, and then you have your Renishaw over on the side here, the equator, and then in theory, all the other pieces you just spoke about, you know, blowing off the part, making sure it's good. But you and I have discussed this a little bit, and I think it's important for the audience to take a look and understand as well. If you have a part going in, and that part's being machined, and it's measured on this equator over here, and let's say it's out of tolerance, I no longer personally, as a machinist, need to go in and tap my offsets. It's doing it for you, right? It's making sure that it's okay, and it's gonna take it, if it's incorrect, let's say, make those changes, put that incorrect piece into a stack, and then it's gonna make the changes for you, and the next piece coming off is a good piece.
Absolutely, correct. 100% correct.
Did I get that right?
Absolutely. So we're taking all the human intervention out of it, right? To make sure the quality maintains at a high level. So,
yeah.
you know, there's oftentimes, you know, that an operator puts the offset in the wrong direction, right? Which could lead to a disastrous situation, you know, especially
I may or may not have done that before.
Exactly. So that's absolutely correct.
So as we close this thing out, is there anything I didn't ask you today, anything we didn't show the audience that you'd like to share? Any messages if they want to learn more about some of the specific specs of these machines? As I see a gantry flying left and right here. Yeah. That's always fun. But is there anything to drive them to your website? And what is that website to know more about speeds, feeds, capabilities, rigidities, tool holding options, gantry options, size of machines, you know, B-axis heads, anything like that you'd like to close out this conversation with? Because I've been truly fascinated by this tour and really enjoyed everything that you've described to me.
Yeah, no, it's been my pleasure as well, Tony. Thank you for being here. So yeah, absolutely. You know, our website is FujiMachine.com. You can go to our website and you can get the information on our partners and under contact us, right? Which dealer partners in your area. You can get all our machine spec information, brochures, videos, and you can download all that information. And you can also enter into our virtual showroom, right?
You have a virtual showroom?
Yeah, we have a virtual showroom on our website, so you can go in there, you can navigate around, you can see all these machines working in the virtual showroom, and you can get brochures and specs and watch videos from the virtual showroom. So I would encourage everybody to definitely visit that, you know. And our new technologies, we talked about that a lot. All of our machines are made with more flexibility in mind, right? So some of these platforms, we've improved upon them. The Fiance control for easy operation, more flexibility, you know, the different type of turrets. You can get different numbers of stations. You can get with live tooling, without live tooling. When we talk about our Gyroflex B-axis machine, we also introduced a brand new machine, the AccuFlex machine. I don't have that machine on the floor yet, but that's going to be a great machine for flexibility and multitasking. So that's going to be an upper and lower turret machine. You can pinch turn with it. It'll be offered also with a single turret if you want it with a single turret, with a bar loader option if you want it, with a gantry Fuji loader, robot if you want it, you know, with a parts unloader, robot if you want it. So many different configurations to also start catering to different markets where we can introduce automation to them from Fuji, right? Built-in automation from one source, one supplier.
The limitation is only the imagination, it seems,
it's just beginning. It's just beginning. You know, we've taken our core competency in automotive, right? You can imagine automotive 24/7, 365 like we talked about. Those machines, you know, they got to run. If they don't run and they're down and they're not fixed quickly, it escalates very, very quickly. So we've taken all that technology and that quality, and now we've expanded upon it with the new integrations to the machines, but keeping that quality, keeping that uptime. You know, typically our machines are 85 to 90% uptime regularly, even in the automotive environment. So,
to me, that is almost the keystone component of understanding how high quality a machine builder is when someone who must run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 without breaks, or they start losing money, that a machine is capable of doing that. When these automotive companies invest in a Fuji and have the capability to be running all the time, because there are not a whole lot of machines out there that have that type of reliability.
Absolutely.
You know? That to me is that keystone that matters so much.
Absolutely, I fully agree. And it's not common that they have only one Fuji, right? They've got
of course not.
many Fujis because they know the quality is so good. So again, they must be doing something right, and we want to introduce this quality to the market to help with the skilled labor shortage, to help provide more production, and to help, you know, save costs, right? If you've got a bunch of operators or you can't find operators, you don't necessarily need to do that. If you've got high cost from the operator side, maybe you can use those resources somewhere else in your company, and you can have the machines doing all the work and saving you costs, right?
Last question I have for you before we exit out of here, and thank everyone for watching as well, is since we've talked so much about Fuji, do you think we could take a camera to the top of Mount Fuji together and do a small interview and just scream to the world?
Let's do that. I'm in. I'm in if you're in. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Sounds like a great way to finish this off, Frank. I appreciate you. For everyone watching, this is 140,000 square feet, 12 million in inventory, supporting all of North and South America. And this is my buddy Frank, who probably the good-looking man everyone already knows, but if you didn't, this is the man Frank right here. 30 years here in the US, 60 years altogether, focused on automotive. However, these high mix, low volumes in other industries, from medical to defense to aerospace to energy, I mean, all of it. You too can have a Fuji machine if you want one. And I mean, okay, I lied to you. I do have one more question.
Okay.
If someone's inspired by this video right now and they want to come see this firsthand for themselves, are they invited as well?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's invited to come here. Anytime we're available to give you a factory tour, to give you a machine-specific tour, a tour of our facility here. Absolutely, 100%.
Perfect. Just outside of Chicago in Vernon Hills, an easy drive from O'Hare Airport. I invite you. I've had a wonderful time. I know my camera person has as well, and Frank's been a great tour guide. This personality is a real personality. He can bring it to you as well. Thank you all for watching. We will see you again soon. Check out Fuji America.